Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time of day or minute or hour that you're watching this video. Um, so this video is specifically going to go into how corrupt CPS really is, how much money they get paid extra for taking children from homes, and what they can and cannot do. So, with that said, I know in the state of Washington, where I live, after an investigation by CPS, they have to, by law, put a safety plan in order before even going to a judge to ask for termination or to remove a child from the home. With that said, if the child is removed from the home, they have 3 days, no more, they can, or less, to let the parent and child see each other. Well, in my case, it was 2 months. So what they did right there was illegal, as well as they never did a safety plan. Excuse me, I'm thirsty. So, thanks to a law called the Adoption and Safety Families Act, signed by Bill Clinton, CPS gets up to $40,000 per child that they remove from their home. CPS will lie to anybody, corrupt anybody, parents, courts, anybody around, to get what they want, to get this extra $40,000 bonus. So, what they're doing, technically, is kidnapping our children and selling them. It's child trafficking in a way. That's what CPS is. Um, I mean, all the clues and everything point to CPS is part of child trafficking. Yeah, there might not be sexual or emotional, well, there is emotional abuse, physical abuse, or anything like that. Emotional abuse, yeah, their children are being taken away from their homes. They're single moms or fathers that love their children. Yeah, we might develop an addiction. However, that doesn't stop us from loving our children, not necessarily, not everybody anyways. So, down below in the description, I will put the website where you can read all about what CPS can and cannot do, how much money they make per child for removing them from the home, and yeah, so that would be in the description down below. And as always, please like, comment, and share, because this is all about rawness, honesty, and I'm an addict in recovery. My child was taken, so I'm trying to help other parents out there. And if you're watching this, don't let CPS corrupt your mind and play mind tricks on you, because your babies are the most important thing ever. So research what they can and cannot do, and by law, you don't have to open your door to any CPS worker or any cop, by that matter. That's your right and that's your obligation. You don't have to, because your amendment rights and your constitutional rights still are in fact, as long as you're an American citizen. So, look up your constitutional rights, look up your amendment rights, and take into account that CPS has no power over you. And those parents that are great parents or good parents that didn't harm their child in any sexual abuse, any physical abuse, and their child is being taken for some stupid reason, I'm sorry, but you need to look into it, and you don't have to open your door. Also, CPS cannot take your child for you being homeless. As long as you have a roof of some sort over their head, it doesn't matter if you're couch surfing in a shelter, living in a vehicle, or living in a tent, they can't take your child for being homeless. So keep that in mind. If you lose your housing or your home, as long as you have a tent and you're camping, it's camping. They cannot take your child for being homeless. Remember that. CPS is very corrupt. They play mind games, and they always get what they want because they're ahead of everybody. And did you know 95% of CPS workers don't have children? Not one. Where do they get off taking our children when they don't know how children are? They've never raised a child. They they don't know how difficult it really is to be a parent. Some of them come from broken backgrounds. They're, they were taken away themselves when they were a child, or their families were broken or messed up. So they think it's okay to take other people's children. It's not. And if any CPS worker is watching this, you're a disgrace to the world. There's parents like me that's lost their children that were good moms or good parents or fathers, and you're screwed up in your head. You need some psychiatric help. So keep in mind the CPS will do what they can to make sure that they get that extra $40,000 per child for removing children. They have to put a safety plan in place unless there is a sexual abuse going on or a physical form of abuse. They have to. Just if there's a physical or sexual abuse, yeah, by all means, take the child. I'm all for that. But if there's not, they need to put a safety plan in place. Yeah, if your house is a little messy, whatever, couple dishes in the sink, whatever, they don't like that. Well, tough shit, honestly. Because by the end of the night, as parents that are single parents, we're so tired. And yeah, our house might be a little messy. Woohoo! If they were parents and they understood how hard parenting was being a single parent, they would think differently. So in my case, they never gave me a safety plan and they never put one in place. They just went straight to the courts. But yet my daughter was never in danger. Ever. And she always loved mommy. She still says it. Our children are so precious. And CPS look at children and taking away children, putting them in foster homes or adopting them out as a paycheck. That's not what children really are, paychecks. And if our children are in foster homes or getting adopted to people we don't know how well they're going to be taken care of. Fortunately for my case, my children are with family, and thankful for that. But there's many children that don't go to family members that are placed in horrible foster care situations and horrible adoption situations, and they're more abused sexually, emotionally, mentally, physically than anything. And when CPS removes a child, they don't understand that they are putting them through emotional turmoil, uh, emotional hell, okay? And they think it's all gravy. Do they even realize what they're doing to the child or the parent? No, I don't think they care, okay? Because if so, they wouldn't be putting this emotional pain onto the child for removing them or the parent. So another thing that's weird and funny is that if you get mad upset, start crying, you have emotional issues, you have anger issues, you need help. Well, what would they do? How would they act if their child was taken by their colleagues, or if they weren't a social worker? How would they feel? Being lied to, being tormented, being harassed, and their child being removed. They'd feel the same way. They'd be pissed the fuck off. They'd be sad. They'd be depressed. It's understandable. Why can't they see this? Oh, yeah, because they don't care. Plain and simple, they don't care. And, you know, it's pathetic. It's very sickening and sad that they look at all of our children as a paycheck, as a bonus. It's Bill Clinton is a piece of shit for doing this. I understand protecting children that are seriously abused, horribly abused. Yeah, those children need to be taken. That's sad. Some of the abuse cases I've heard, oh my gosh, it makes me sick. And then there's me that never hit my child. I mean, yeah, I popped her in the mouth when she bit me. But, I mean, what parent wouldn't? And I mean, okay, sorry, I had a phone call. But, $4,000 to $6,000 is given to state agencies per child adopted. The bill reads, $4,000 to $6,000 will be multiplied by the amount, if any, by which the number of foster child adoptions in the state exceeds the base number of foster child adoptions for that state. So, like I said, the link below in the description, you can read all about it, and there'll be other helpful information on that page as well. So I highly advise you to look into everything on that page. Do your homework, because our children are very precious to us. And once they're taken, they're taken. And so before CPS manipulates you into signing your children over or your child over, tries to lie and bullshit you, read up upon what CPS can and cannot do, the laws they can and cannot do, and read about your state laws for um, CPS, and parental rights and family law. You need to educate yourself so that way you know if they're bullshitting you or if they're being honest. Because if I would have known about doing all this beforehand, I'd probably still have my daughter, honestly. But I didn't until I started researching more and more and more. And once your child is removed permanently, you always miss them. I know I miss mine. Sorry, I had to take a break. 5-minute break. But parents really need to educate themselves when they're dealing with child protective services. I don't know wherever state you're from, but you need to research the laws, ins and outs of CPS, laws with family law, benefit yourself and your child. And know that because of the law that Bill Clinton put into place, which was a horrible thing for him to do, CPS will want your child more for that big bonus at the end of the year. And they are a legal child trafficking service. And I have an old friend who used to be a CPS social worker, and he told me everything. I mean, everything. And, because he couldn't just take kids away from good parents or good homes, even if the parents were becoming homeless, they could still live in a tent or a car, and there's nothing CPS could have done about it because there's a roof of some sort over their head. And there's so much corruption dealing with CPS, taking people's children, that it's nuts and crazy, and it's sad and sickening. And he said he couldn't do it anymore, and he quit. But he told me everything about CPS and what they do and how they manipulate the parents, children, the court systems, lawyers, just so they can get that added bonus at the end of the year. So I want to really put it in everybody's head to please, please do your research about the laws in your state and county and with the family laws. Check out the link in the description below. Really educate yourself, because I know laws are different state by state. Um, but really educate yourself before your child's gone forever. Honestly, you should really educate yourself. Um, for more videos like this, please like and subscribe to my channel. I will have another channel coming up called Adventures with Laura. Um, it's gonna be, haunted, Randonautica. I'm gonna be doing Randonautica videos and 31 Days of Halloween put together in one, so please check that out. The link will be down below. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I hope this was helpful and educated you some way. And please turn that gray thumbs up button to a blue thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you know anybody else dealing with CPS, please share my video, because there will be, and I have other videos as well on my page about CPS and the corruption and recovery and all that. And please stay tuned. I'll be uploading another video soon. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. I love you all, and I hope you all the best.